Hello everybody and welcome to the third episode of An Idiot Plays Final Fantasy I Pixel Remastered. When we last left off, we did enter Elfheim and we did see that we were a little bit behind as far as financials go. So I did some grinding off screen. I did manage to get the saber, and then I did get the copper armlets for both the white and black mage, as well as some leather caps. So we're going to see exactly where we're going to go from there. I did want to grind and get the magics necessary, but if I had done that, the level I would have been at would have made the game trivial. So we're just going to I'll pick up the magic as I go. We do have some magic. Don't have level 4, but again, we do have the level 3 Kira. We do have Fyra and Thundara, which are going to target everyone on the screen. Before we actually get going, I am going to sleep at the inn. Hopefully that doesn't totally break me. I think I have 711 gil. Now, if I remember correctly, there was a person in one of the towns we visited that said that there was a dwarven establishment. So we're going to go ahead and try and find that. I believe I know where it is, but, you know, trial and error. There are a few things we want to do before we get moving forward. So let's go try to find that dwarven village. Hop in the boat, and I believe it's up here to the northeast. Alright, we're gonna have a little bit of a random encounter. Now, if you did watch the first 2 episodes, I was dealing with some issues as far as the recording. I was using a different app, so we're gonna try it on. I did download OBS, so hopefully that did fix the audio issues that I have, because the first episode it sounded like everything was coming from a can. The second episode, the game audio was good, but for some reason I couldn't get the audio from my mic to pick up well, so it's hard to tell when I'm talking at times. It sounds like I'm just muffled. We're gonna Thundara, and hopefully we can just wipe out the whole lineup. But yeah, hopefully I've worked out the kinks as far as the recording issues moving forward, and we can have some quality videos moving forward. Alright, that should wipe everyone out. Yep. Now, I am level 12, so I do have 6 level 1 spells, 4 level 2, and 3 level 3s for my, or 4 level 3s for both my mages. That will buy me a little bit of travel time where I'm not having to immediately back off and go to inns every time. Hopefully we can just steamroll some of these fights. Now, I know that the ocean is going to have a few more harder fights than where you were at in land. I think the biggest threat around Elfheim seemed to be getting a bunch of wolves. But again, I haven't encountered everything in the bestiary, so I'm not 100% sure. There might be something there that totally wrecks me and I just didn't wander far enough. But I believe it is up here I want to go. Preemptive strike. Magic. We're gonna Thundara and hopefully, yep, hopefully it just wipes out the whole thing. Hey, a potion. I will take that. That's just as good as money. Alright, yeah. We want to go here. And then I believe... Oh, no. An Ogre Chief? We have yet to experience an Ogre Chief in this playthrough. We have a couple of Ogres. Hopefully he doesn't totally destroy me. We're going to use fire. If I know my fantasy, ogres do not like fire. Alright. Now from here on out, when the ogres, we can just grind fight them. I believe in one full just attack from everybody should be able to wipe them out at this point. Now they're doing a decent amount of damage, but as you remember, we just picked up a potion, so you know, as far as Boy Tifa goes, we can just heal him up with that potion we found. There is where I believe we're trying to find. Hold on, we're not gonna heal just yet because there might be a place that heals me. Alright, we have found the dwarves. 575 gil, 450 gil. So 1,000 gil essentially. That it puts me up fairly well. Now it's not gonna help as much. I'm gonna still need to do some grinding to get all the magics. When you remember, I believe they were 25 for the level 4. Lolly ho! Now I did say before that they have the best catchphrase of any fantasy creature in Final Fantasy, and I stand by that. Oh, he does a little jump! Lolly ho to you, sir. Ah, you grabbing we or Smith in the smithy he is? What? I had a stroke or he did. Alright, so now we know that the Dark Elf Astos, who has put the prince to sleep, has also gotten the eye from Matoya. Now, I don't know if there's any more chests to grab. If only I had some of the legendary metal adamantite, I'd be able to craft a magical sword. Oh, come on. Come on, guy. There we go. Thank you. So we find adamantite. We know where to bring it. The dwarf. What do we got here? And I apologize for butchering what I assume is like an Irish, Scottish type accent. Alright, so a mystic key belongs here as well. So if we get the magic key, they said there was some nitro powder locked up, so that's how we're going to progress here. So the dwarven area isn't where we needed to go. Though we did pick up almost, I think it was about 1,000 gil, and we found where the dwarves were. So, progress. Process of elimination, we can figure out where it is we need to go. I mean, these games drop little hints as far as, you know, people in the town tell you where you need to go. But it's not like some of the later installments where they're so obvious and they'll keep reminding you and they kind of steer you towards those directions. And the extra areas you need to go to are an option. Like this one, oh no, ambushed. Hopefully they don't, yes, attack the guy with all the armor. Yeah, hopefully we figure out where we need to go. Though we did find the dwarves, got 1,000 gold, and we found that there's another room that's locked behind the mystic key. So as soon as we get the mystic key, we'll be cooking with fire. We're actually going to magic. We're going to cure. Magic. Now, I am running out of high-level spells, so I may need to stop at an inn at some point in time just to replenish those. We have to get in the boat anyway, so I may stop in Cornelia to do that just because of how cheap it is. So 100 gil in Elfheim isn't going to break the bank. Alright. $21. Ooh, those sharks do a good amount of damage. Alright. Alright, it looks like everyone attacked. At least they attacked an idiot. Alright. Okay, that should help us clear out this group of enemies. At least they're fleeing, which is preventing them from attacking. And I don't mind if they attack an idiot or even Boy Tifa, just due to the fact that Boy Tifa's got a little bit better armor, I believe, than our mages. Alright, we're going to go down here. We're Cornelia. Well, another ogre. That should help with the income. That will put me over, I believe, 3,000. We can even look to pick up another magic, though that would leave us very broke heading forward, but I believe the Gigas Worm fled and not the ogre. I hope it wasn't the ogre. Those are kind of one of the creatures early game that give you a good amount of money for killing. Alright, 2 attacks, 69 damage. Alright, let's go to Elfheim. We're gonna heal up. 100 gil. Probably should have just stopped in Cornelia, save 70 gil, but where I'm going to be going next is a little bit closer to here. So let's see. Okay, so we have Thundara. I think it's more important that I pick up a level 4 spell. Where is... Here's, I believe, the level 3 for white mages. Yes. You know, we're going to pick up No Blaze. That is... Again, there are... Diara will be good. Just so we have some offensive spells with our mage. Now, I could have used heal, which is going to restore a little HP to the entire party. But I think I can manage using the Cura. Nope, that's the dumb thing to do. Alright. Yeah. No, we're not going to have enough. I did spend money on that spell, and so I'm not gonna have enough for a level 4 spell. That's fine. We did pick up at least a couple more level 3 spells, so I will go back and eventually fill out the level 2 spells, just because I don't like to see those gaps in there. But where we can buy level 2 spells is halfway across the world at this point, so yes, everyone attack an idiot. He's so strong. Years of being hit have weathered him to just take an absolute beating. Alright, let's get in the ship. Now, we go over here. I believe there's a dock. But we'll find out together. Okay, Shark fled. At least the person that does the most damage in this enemy is gone. Now, Final Fantasy 1, I understand that there's a lot of split in whether or not how people feel about this game. There's a lot of indifference because a lot of people don't like the magic system. Now, I do, because I come from, you know, despite playing Final Fantasy first, I also played tabletop, you know, when you look at D&D, Pathfinder, things like that. And the spell slots is kind of nice. It's definitely an interesting take. I don't believe they ever go back to the spell slots. I think this is the only Final Fantasy that does the spell slots. We're just going to attack. We're going to attack. We're going to save those spell slots. But it's interesting to see, you know, a Final Fantasy that doesn't use the MP system. There are still ethers, but they're going to refill spell slots as opposed to an overall MP fill. Sorry if you can hear, there's someone mowing across the street. So if there's a slight buzz you hear, that is going to be from... Do I need to walk around? Oh, Buccaneers. That's something new. We haven't fought Buccaneers yet. We did fight the pirates in the last town we've gone to before we came to Elfheim. But I believe those looked a little bit different. Buccaneers may be a new type of enemy. Because, like I said in, I believe it was the first episode, you're going to encounter enemies that are just a palette swap. I think I need to walk around. Just wasted a ton of time just going through the ocean. Yeah, here we go. Ghasts. That's something new. I did fight zombies. So ghasts are a little bit different. Another palette swap creature of the zombie. It's an interesting idea because you're able to add different creatures into the game by doing a simple palette swap, and you're going to see that happens a lot in Final Fantasies. No, is that a static? That is not a static. Another one that comes to mind that they do the palette swap a lot is going to be the flans. Though I believe flans in 1 look different, but for the most part, flans are just a palette swap throughout multiple games, but they're going to designate the element they are. So that's a cool way to do the palette swaps as opposed to the zombies and ghasts and things like that. Ogres, ogre chieftains. Blocked. Now, I don't know exactly how it works where the enemy targeting, if it's randomized completely. It does seem that everyone is attacking the warrior first. Oof. Big hit. Big damage. Well, it looks like we're probably going to hit level 13 before we even hit the next story beat. I do have a tent. I'm going to save that, though I do have sleeping bags as well. I probably should have just used a sleeping bag as opposed to using the potions, because you can't use the sleeping bags in dungeons. Those are only out in the field. Ugh. Ugh. We'll use one of the level 1 Black Mage spells against the Ogre Chief. No, it's interesting. In Final Fantasy II, there are characters. They did go with a character that are directly into the story, that have their own dialogue and things like that. 3 changes it up a little bit because you have the Onion Kids, which what designates them as 3 from all the other ones, you know, 1 and 2 to that point, is the job system. Now, if you haven't played one of the job systems, I recommend giving it a shot. It is absolutely, you know, it's incredibly enjoyable. At least I enjoy it. Because it gives you variety amongst the team, despite only having 4 characters. You know, in 1, you pick your classes, and you're locked into those classes. There is no switching. There is no characters being added. Alright, level 13. Yeah, there is no character swapping or any extra characters who come in for some people that play the later Final Fantasies. Let's go ahead and use a sleeping bag. Hopefully that gets us close to full HP with everybody. I do have 5, and they're not super expensive. Yeah, that put me at full HP. It doesn't affect the spells. Alright. Let's go into this castle. Western Keep. Key. Not sure that's the noise a bat makes, but... Alright, it's mostly ruins. The bats don't have anything to say to us. I took the longest way. Let's go back in. I believe that room is where we need to go. I was tricked by Astos, king of the Dark Elves, and now my castle has fallen into ruin. So, Astos is obviously the next one story-wise that we will be dealing with. Marsh Cave, I would be able to restore my castle. So, if we defeat Astos, that solves the Elfheim issue, the Matoya issue, and this kingdom issue. So, it just makes sense that that is the next area to go. Now, there was nothing to pick up. We're going to find the Marsh Caves. We're just going to flee from these. Hopefully, we don't get too messed up. Okay. I know that I could hit those, but I kind of want to keep my level down to keep the game from from the party essentially getting too overpowered. Here's a new creature we run into. Again, I don't think I'm going to go bestiary hunting just to fill it out. Now, I know that there's achievements. There's going to be a lot of you who are achievement hunting, especially when it comes to games like Final Fantasy. Ooh, poison. Ooh, 2 poison. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. $30 damage. Wow. Hoo hoo hoo. Please don't kill boy Tifa. I have 1 Phoenix down, and it costs an arm and a leg. I can't afford to... Okay, hey, I will take a hit to the Black Mage who has more... Oh! So many people poisoned. I'm basically going through all of my antidotes. Yikes. Now, I kind of want to see as far as... So, I'm 147 from Boy Tifa being full health. So, we're going to use a sleeping bag just kind of as a limit test to see exactly how much it's going to restore. Because I'm not sure. Okay, so it's 100. Not super huge, but we'll do a potion. I think I may need to go back to Elfheim, preemptive strike, because I'm going to want to pick up a few more potions and antidotes. Now, paralysis isn't a static effect that stays on past the fight. So yeah, we're going to head back to Elfheim. I'm going to cut that out so you guys don't have to watch me go back. And I'll come back when we get outside of where I need to go. Alright, we've returned back to where we were before. I had run out of basically antidotes. I was down to 2. I went back to town. I did pick up some more potions, one more Phoenix down, 18 antidotes, 10 eye drops, 10 echo grass, and I did pick up some more sleeping bags. I also picked up ethers. That way I'm not limited as far as where I use my magic. And I believe this is where we're going. Alright. We have fought werewolves and goblin guards before, so this isn't anything new, though I do like the shift in the background. We've entered a new biome, essentially, which is going to be the Martians. And they've got a nice little backsplash art, which I definitely enjoy. The game did such a good job, the Pixel Remastered, staying true to the original game feel, while adding more to it. You know, I believe the game is $12. It's definitely worth the money, especially if you enjoy JRPGs. You want to see where Final Fantasy started off with. We're going to save before we go in here. Now we're going into here at level 13. Preemptive strike, we got Tarantula. Now, if I remember correctly when I played the last time, tarantulas are going to be something in here that can poison you, which is why I picked up so many more antidotes than anything else. Alright, skeleton. A crawler's something new. We have, I believe they were Gigas worms, but that's something different. Skeletons, I believe we ran into in the Chaos Shrine. It would make sense. They are very weak. They seem to only be doing 1 damage, so it looks like it's kind of a 8. That's not bad for someone attacking a white mage. They don't have much armor, so... Alright. Now, if you look, you can see around the map. So we got 3 rooms before we have to come back here. Let's see what we can find. Alright, there's a chest. And a random combat. Alright, a Black Widow and a Tarantula. And what do we do with spiders? We kill it with fire. Because that's what spiders deserve. Hopefully no one in the comments is like, I love spiders. How dare you, you monster. I am not a fan of spiders. I've been bit so many times. In this area, we have a bad problem with brown recluses. And gotta tell you, not a fan. Now, we know scorpions can poison. They poisoned us initially outside of the cave. So hopefully we can get through without getting poisoned. The damage is pretty high that they can pump out in comparison to some of the other things in the dungeon, as we saw the skeletons doing 1 damage to the warrior. So if he hits one of our mages, that's going to chunk for a good amount of damage. We're actually going to use one of our potions. We're not worried about getting them up to max just yet. Save them as much as we can. Okay, gargoyles. That is definitely a new thing. Hopefully they don't just obliterate me, but we'll see. I'm going to say that one's dead. I believe that's our first damage over 100 with a physical attack. I know we've broken that cap with magic when we were on the boat a couple times using a level 3 spell. Okay, they don't seem to be too daunting a task to take down. Decent money. Oh, yes. Alright, so we're already at 3,000 gil. I had spent almost everything. Okay, so the ooze, I believe, is this game's version. The ooze and slime are like this version's flan? I'm not sure. We'll have to see. I don't believe physical hurts them very much. We're gonna use a fire. I don't like the risk we take getting poisoned. Well, if they are this versions of Flans, they run a little bit differently. Normally, Flans have really high physical defense, but really low magical defense. I may have totally just wasted a level 3 spell. We did get a high potion out of it, so that's kind of nice. I did pick up a few high potions, so that just adds to the collection. It's always nice to get a potion, high potion, antidote, stuff you don't have to spend money on, because there are spells to cure poison, but for the cost and the slot, I don't think it's worth picking it up when you can just purchase antidotes and eye drops and things like that. Now, Asuna, I'm not sure if that does like normal Asuna, where it cures a whole litany of status effects. We'll have to check again. Alright, a potion. So we're at 4,800 gil. And we're barely into the dungeon. So at this rate, we should leave the dungeon with enough money to go back to that town and buy some magic when it's all said and done. At this rate, we're going to hit this boss, and we're going to be level 14, 15. Okay, preemptive strike. Ooh, alright, so good chunk of damage and poison. Alright. We're gonna magic. We're gonna cure Boy Tifa. Now I know that there is a poison on an idiot, but having that base health, and we didn't even get the heal off. Okay, so we're gonna use that antidote. 20, not a 25. We're gonna sort that. I don't like having my high potion at the bottom of that list. Hate to go through my reserves already, but I also don't want to burn up all my spell slots. Alright, now let's see. This is where we came in at, so that leaves only one location. That's going to go down there. Now, another thing with the Pixel Remastered that I actually haven't touched on is you see that there, on the top left side of the screen, there is that 2 arrows, meaning that there's a fast forward button. Now, on controller, if you hit square, it's going to go into fast forward mode, which is going to continue to use the last command you gave. So if you're trying to just grind through a bunch of things, you can just hit your command, hit square, and just run through. It's going to keep doing that same command over and over again. Now, I don't know if it continues. I don't know how it works when you run out of spell slots if you're using a spell. I mean, we'll a bridge will cross when we get there. Oh, antidote. But yeah, if you're playing the Pixel Remastered and you feel like the combat's a little bit too slow, a little bit too grindy. Now, I don't mind playing through. You know, I feel like combat goes through pretty fast anyway, especially when you get higher up levels, going through these mobs. I think it's best we step outside this cave. So we're going to use a sleeping bag. I probably shouldn't have used my potions if knowing I was going to cross this stairway to go up and access the sleeping bags. I kind of wasted a good amount of my potions. I wouldn't recommend doing as I did. But as the channel designates, as one of my characters designate, I'm not I am not the brightest bulb in the pack. Alright. We're going to go down here. There's this room. I'm sure it'll bite me in the ass to have used those potions. Now, I don't believe tents actually... Okay, so a tent does restore some of the party's HP and MP. I may have messed up using a sleeping bag. Alright, we're going to go down this ladder. Ooh, shadow, that's something new. We'll use the fire. I prefer to run through the... Didn't even have to use it. Run through some of the lower things. Now, I know when you look at the slots, I'm at 3 level 1 spells, 5 level 2, 3 level 3 that I have access to. Now, you might think because you have 5, just use the Blizzard. But I gotta tell you, it's best to save those higher level spells for higher level creatures. Now, we do see that if we go straight down, there are 3 rooms that have chests. So we're going to go for those. And then there doesn't appear to be anything in that top right room. We're going to avoid that. Seems like a waste of movement. So let's hit the rooms in order and then get over to this room because that leads down. Should be able to just wipe through the skeletons. Now, a little tip, if you run into groups that have higher combat and there's a creature that's new or you're not sure, always target the higher damage creature. If you can knock it out and leave some of the weaker stuff that you know it's not going to destroy your party's HP, that's the way to go. I know some people want to go front to back. Now this one... Alright, that one tried to flee. That's going to prevent it. Another interesting thing is, you don't see it a lot, but the creatures in Final Fantasy 1, I've seen plenty of attempts to flee, which is an interesting thing, because a lot of Final Fantasies, when you lock up with something, there are a few creatures within the game that will flee, but it looks like everything's capable of fleeing. I've seen Gigas worms, wolves, a spider just attempted to flee. Now how they oh no. How they designate when it flees, I'm not sure. What dictates that? Now this, let's fire. Because green slime seems to have really high physical defense. It would take me an hour to chip it down to kill it. Oh, and that's why you cure cure poison. I just did a good amount of damage to boy Tifa that was absolutely not necessary. Now I did pick up a dagger. I don't know where that compares. Accuracy 2, attack down 6. I'm gonna stick with the saber. Broadsword. Okay, now we're cooking with broadswords. Yes. Accuracy up and attack up. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, and this is what I was talking about in the previous episode as far as money. Now, it's hard to come across money in Final Fantasy 1. It varies from Final Fantasy. There are times you're going to feel like you've got too much gil. But early on in Final Fantasy, for the amount of gil you're getting per combat, it's going to run you a lot of combats to grind up to get all the things. But as you start finding items in the world, it's going to save you a good amount of money, which is going to allow me to stack up. Now I know that I don't have to buy a broadsword if I encounter it in the world because I've got one, and I only have one character who can equip it. So it's going to save me a little money in the long run. Now, how you feel about finishing out the bestiary? You know, they're going to be, like I said, there are people who are going to want to go get all the creatures from the bestiary figured out, you know, found and defeated, so you can finish that. There is an achievement base to it. But I definitely recommend making sure you get all the chests for that reason. Alright. 150. We're going to use that. The music's so good. We're actually... I don't want to get too high level, and we've been grinding through this dungeon. 47! Oof! And someone got poisoned. I couldn't tell if it was the white mage or the black mage. It was the white mage. Oof! Alright, now we're getting into dangerous territory because I am running low on potions, which means I'm going to have to rely on my spells from my white mage to heal up. Preemptive strike. Now we know the green slimes don't take much damage from physical. So we're going to use... Alright, that does kill it. Yeah. Gonna have to use magic to kill green slimes. Bye-bye last level 1 spell. I kind of broke my own rule and used Blizzard. Just in case I needed to use fire on something, on a singular target. And I believe that's everything in here. Now, when you're in rooms, you can see what's in the other rooms. I don't know if you noticed when we had just entered right up here, we could see where the chests were. So it's layered. Alright, now let's see. Now, somewhere here, there is an exit. There is a lot. So, again, we'll use that layering trick. We're going to go into this room here. And then we'll look and see where we need to go. So, the top row, it's just that one. The two far outsides. 2 there. 1 there. 1 there. So, we've got a lot of chests to get at. I believe that's going to be... That one's got statues. So I'm going to assume that that is... And so does that. I don't know exactly where we're supposed to go from here, but we'll figure it out. It's been a while since I've played. Ambush. That's not good. Now, werewolves can poison. A good way to remember that is they are green. Yep, there we go. There, see, there's the poison. We're actually gonna... They don't give a ton of experience. It's not worth risking it. I do have to start managing my potions a little bit better, so I'm not reliant on just Phoenix down. Oh! Now we know we go all the way down to the last one. Sorry if we're fleeing. Again, I don't want to get too far ahead in levels. Having to grind earlier for some gil has definitely... Now, there's still things that'll knock the absolute crap out of me. You know, we saw some creatures doing 40-something damage. It's weird, the disparity between the weakest creature in the dungeon and the strongest creature in the dungeon. But it does kind of leave the element of surprise. Sometimes you're grinding through and it's no big deal, and then you run into a group of something that can absolutely kill your party. Alright, so we go up here. 1,000 gil. So we are starting to rack up a good amount of gil. Now let's check again. That middle, we want to go the 2 furthest. So we'll take this row by row. Now blue, we can just... They are capable of being killed physically. Gray oozes. That is not gray. But yeah, if you're running into green oozes, I would recommend, or green slimes, I believe they were called. So slimes seem to be what the flans were. Alright, so boom, and then we go down here. Yeah, the green slimes seem to be more like traditional what flans would be, if you have experience of other Final Fantasies, where they have the high physical defense. And, you know, it's hard to just chip them away with just regular attacks. You need to use magics. Alright. The cottage. Oh, that's big. Cottages were $2 grand. Between the Phoenix Down and the cottage and the gold we've gotten through here, let's flee through this group. Hopefully we avoid getting poisoned. Nope. We did get poisoned. Okay. See, this is why I'm glad I picked up a bunch of antidotes going into here. Copper armlet. Well, can anyone equip the copper armlet? Okay, that does increase your evasion. And it's much lower weight. So yeah, we're gonna use the copper armlet. Nothing else we can equip to him. But it does increase the invasion. Now, that's something... Oh, that's nice. He's a little bit higher. Now, we're gonna stack armors on the warrior and use them almost like a tank. But it's good to have Monk, who we can't equip a lot of the armors to get that evasion up. I didn't realize the Black Mages had an evasion of 25. I wonder if that has something to do with the staff being used, because who knows? Who knows? Alright, now this one, there's a few that have creatures. We are here. So, we're going to take those far to right ones. Preemptive. We're getting out of here. Now, you can call me a coward for escaping and stuff like that, but I'm not too worried about it. You know, Final Fantasy games as a whole are grind fest at times, especially with the random encounters, and this one, I don't know as far as what Final Fantasy has the highest random encounters, but one definitely has quite a bit. I'm going to try to avoid anything that can poison me, just to keep my antidotes available, because like I said, I don't want to get too overpowered where I'm, you know, one-shotting bosses. Okay, that chest is gone. I don't know where that went. I was almost positive there was a chest in here. What we'll do is we'll step back in that room and we'll open up the map. Okay. Oh, that's because I'm in the wrong row. I need to go down a row. And we'll go to the far right one so we can sweep left. Preemptive, yeah. Anything that poisons you, I would recommend fleeing. I mean, you might decide you want to destroy everything, do a no flee run. But I'm going to try to avoid using as many of my antidotes as possible. Keeps my level relatively low. That way there is some challenge, because you could grind. There's no, you know, caps to certain parts of the story. You could literally sit outside and grind until you're max level and just walk through the game. I wouldn't recommend it. That does make the game feel more tedious. Ooh. Another 1100. We're almost at 10,000 gil. We should be able, once we leave this dungeon, to fill out a good portion of our magics. And another thing I would recommend doing just to save yourself money, don't use potions or anything like that unless you're going to get the max value out of them. Like if you're at... I did earlier in the game... I don't know if this is... Preemptive strike. We're gonna flee. This might end up being a horrible thing. These statues near it. Monsters! Okay. Oh, interesting. Pisco Demon? Alright, let's... I don't know what these do. But we're gonna wipe through them. We're gonna just take care of them right now. Now, I know my first couple of episodes were in between 30 and 40. Wow, that... I figured a level 3 spell would have wiped through them. Oh, no! Wow, okay. So... Yikes, 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 yikes. And we're going to use a potion. $74. Wow, these demons. Maybe I should have grinded a little bit. Wow. Okay, there's the crown, which is, I believe, for the king we visited. So the Pisco demons do not play. Now we're out of potions. This is why I wanted to avoid. So now we're going to use cures. So cures about 40. Alright. Alright, there's nothing there. So we go down. There's a few places to fight. So we want to go 1, 2, and the 4th one. Alright, so let's go down. Now, ooh, there's a Blood Bones. That's going to be a new one. Now, something I haven't used yet and I picked up is the Dia and Diara, which is going to do damage to the undead. So if we wipe out the crawler, that just leaves skeletons, and I should do a good amount of damage to the skeletons. I don't know if Pisco demons are technically undead. We'll have to check. I don't think they are, though. Oof. Good damage. Echo Grass. Hey, we'll take any items we can get. So we need to come back when we have a mystic key. Yikes. We're gonna flee these. So another area we need to wait to come back to. We've got the Chaos Shrine. We've got Cornelia. The dwarves have an item that's held behind the mystic key. There was the Elfheim had items. Oh no. So once we get the Mystic Key, we've got a lot of areas that we need to visit in order to unlock. Which is fine because it's going to give us a good amount of items. I think what's important is we make it through. Didn't have to use any of our Phoenix Downs. Alright, so here's maybe the bottom row is going to be, and then I believe it was the 4th. The bottom row is all going to be locked up with a Mystic Key. we're going to cure up the monk. That way, just in case he gets... That's 150. It's not worth it. Let's go into magics. Alright, so now we have no level 1 magics. The only cure we have is Cura, and we've got 2 of those. And I kind of want to save it for the Dia, or the Diara. Hopefully... Now we've got the money, we can restock on a good amount of potions without it totally breaking the bank. Okay, so both of those. So it looks like all the doors are going to be a Mystic Key. But we do have the crown. So let's go ahead and leave. We got to go to the top left. So let's go ahead and hopefully we don't get ambushed too much. Now this episode may run a little bit longer just due to the fact that I like to get to stopping points before... So I'll probably stop the video once we leave the cave, and we'll continue on the story from there, return the crown to the king. But this one, like I said, may run a little bit long in comparison to the first 2, which is fine. You know, as long as you all are enjoying it, I think that's what's most important. I hope you're enjoying it. For those of you that are watching, again, I appreciate you watching. You know, I'm just starting out, so it's a little rough around the edges. I'll figure it out as I go. Learn by doing, so... Alright. And we are just going to run out of this dungeon, both on the overmap and on the fights. We're just going to try to flee. Up. Preemptive. Should make for fleeing pretty quick. Now, I will fight if we run into something I haven't experienced before. You know, just... Not because I'm worried about getting the, And we know we gotta go up here. Not because I'm worried about filling out the bestiary necessarily. But to give some of you watching, if you're playing along with me, if you're using this similarly to a walkthrough, a very clumsy walkthrough at that, you get to see what some of these creatures are capable of. Oh, no. Okay, okay. So, failed a flee attempt. That's the first time we failed a flee attempt. And we did get poisoned. But it was just an idiot. Alright, hopefully we can get through this dungeon. Ooh. We're running. We're running. We're scared. We're getting out of here. Oof. Thank you, shield. Alright, so we're right by the exit. We can leave here, and then I'm not so worried about it because we can use sleeping bags out in the real world. Alright, and I think that right there is a good stopping point. If you did make it all the way through the video, I'd like to thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It would help the channel out immensely. And I hope you tune in for the next episode of An Idiot Plays Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remastered. We're going to save this, and goodbye, everyone!